The stories that are the headlines.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Patrick Paez.
I'm Joey Francisco. It's the 1st of February.
Yes.
Thursday na, pero natapos din daw sa wakas ang Enero.
14 days to go.
Valentine's na.
And the milestone, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile turns 100.
100.
It's a milestone.
Balita ko, nag-uwian lahat ng mga kamag-anak for that purpose.
Oo, saka naghahanda talaga yung pamilya. They're embracing this whole longevity of the senator. No?
That's true, that's
true. May countdown nga kanina, Jovi, dun sa naunang programa sa atin.
May countdown at saka nagpupustahan yata ang mga anchors natin kung kukunin niya yung premyo for reaching that age.
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
More than the amount, it's really the
reaching that age.
Marking the milestone in one's life, di ba?
So, yun po,
How many pandemics? I think 2 pandemics. 2 world wars pa ata, no?
I think so, yeah. So,
yun po. Congratulations, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile.
At,
Alam mo, Jovi, naabutan ko pa yan dati nung first Senate, post 1986. He was a member, he was a senator then. Dati mga tao, mga reporter, ilag sa kanya eh. Kasi, you know naman kami, mga martial law babies who became reporters back then. Enrile, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile had a different reputation, di ba?
That time, di ba? Tapos kaya nga, nung ako naman nung naabutan ko naman sa Senate, para na siyang lolo na approachable.
Oo.
Parang
Grandfather,
through the years,
avuncular.
parang iba. Yeah. So, tapos parang mahilig na magpa-interview. Parang dati kasi mag-aalangan ka na, siya interviewin ko ba to?
And he is a, sorry, no, nasingit natin, no, bago tayo nagbasa ng headlines. Pero mahirap pakawalan to because this is a very interesting story, no?
Yeah.
He has been appointed by this administration as Presidential Legal Counsel. And apparently, he hasn't skipped a cabinet meeting. He's always there, always present. At saka Jovi, he walks, may alalay, pero he walks, he is not wheeled in.
Hindi nga daw. At ang pinakahuli niyang, unless sa sundan, at least yung high-profile meeting, ay yung hindi natuloy na LEDAC. Pero he joined the President doon sa separate meetings.
Yun.
He joined that separate meetings. Sa Congress at saka sa Senators.
So siguro may input pa siya doon.
Malamang.
So bangayan ng
knowing that he led the Senate for quite a while.
Right.
So,
the experience is something na hindi mo matatawaran po. Okay.
So, before we go to our headlines, sabihin ko lang na Ed Lingao is on his way. So, please wait for him. Pero bigay muna namin sa inyo ang headlines for today. PNP Chief turned Senator Bato de la Rosa reacts to a former police officer's allegation. Arturo Las Cañas claimed that de la Rosa and Vice President Sara Duterte were behind Oplan Tokhang in Davao City. But Senator Bato says, and we quote, "Malinis ang konsensya ko."
Okay, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines says charter change is not truly the initiative of ordinary citizens. The CBCP believes Cha-Cha, by way of a people's initiative, lacks informed consent and could be deceptive.
And baka nagising kayo sa balitang ito kanina. RPTV goes on air starting kanina, Feb 1. This is the newest free-to-air channel that offers sports, entertainment, and public affairs po yung content. Some of the shows airing on RPTV are PBA Games, Eat Bulaga, inumpisahan nila Ted Filon and DJ Cha-Cha kanina, at syempre ngayong hapon yung Wanted sa radyo.
Ni Senator Rapi Tulfo. Yes.
Okay.
So there's no let-up in talks about People's Initiative. Sharing his insights with us is Senator JV Ejercito. He's joining us on the phone. Good afternoon, Senator.
Yes, good afternoon, Joe, and Patrick. Good afternoon.
Yes, Senator. So The last we talked to last night was Congressman
Erwin
Tulfo and Congressman, kayo naman
Joey
sa STL,
Salceda.
Congressman Joey Salceda. Medyo magkaiba yung 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 tono nila.
Yeah.
Of course, officially from Congressman Erwin Tulfo, ceasefire. At saka susunod na daw yung House sa anumang
Sisimulan ng Senado sa
sisimulan
Lunes.
ng Senado. Yes. But then again, from Congressman Joey Salceda,
Ganun din man actually, susundin nila kung ano man ang gagawin ng Senado starting Monday. Pero may kasamang pagbibigay ng sama ng loob hurt yung feelings after nung caucus nga kahapon sa mga kapulungan.
pero may tampo ata sa mga senador, sa mga senador, Senator JV.
Well, palagay ko, both ways, no? Malaki rin ang tampo ng Senado sa House of Representatives. No? Dahil netong nangyari, just to give you a background on what led to this, sabi na natin crisis between both houses, nung Christmas break po natin, biglang napag-alaman namin na tuloy-tuloy po ang People's Initiative. At ang timeline po nila was January 14, dapat all-in na po yung signatures. No? That is required for People's Initiative. Kung yung mapapansin, January 14, we were on break. We resumed session January 22. So, there was really to keep this from the Senate, to keep the Senate out of it. At ang nakapagtataka po, kasi pagkakalagoy People's Initiative, dapat po ang tinatanong po ron ay kung ano po ang mga kung payo kayo doon sa mga nais-amyendahan sa Constitution. But in this case, ang katanungan lang payag ba kayo na magboboto ng sabay, ng iisa, or voting jointly. So, doon pa lang talagang ang tingin namin that there was really an intention to undermine the Senate. Alam niyo po, gusto ko kang linawin na Patrick, Joe, hindi po kami tumitindig dahil pinaglalaban namin ang Senado as an institution, but we are fighting for the whole democratic institution as well. Kasi hindi lang ito laban ng Senado at House. There is a deeper issues here, no? Lalo na yung political provisions that they want to be lifted, yung extension of term limits, lifting of term limits and extension of terms, and the like. So, doon po nagsimula, and then nagkaroon sana ng meeting with the President between the leaders of both houses, the Speaker at si Senate President, na the Senate will just pass the RB 86 para na maiwasan itong constitutional crisis. No? And then the Senate will just, the House will just adopt. Ang problema po, hindi po nasunod. Nagtuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung pangangalap or gathering of signatures. So, doon po nagsimula ang lahat ng gulo, and now, hell broke loose. Nagkagulo-gulo na po lahat.
Yeah, pero ang alam natin na magsisimula na nga kayo ng trabaho nyo about charter change sa Monday, Senator JV. Pero before namin puntahan yung details nun, alam namin na ang mga kawani or yung mga staffers po ninyo dyan sa Senado ay nagpakita rin kanina ng kanilang damdamin o sila nag-protesta ba tawag sa ganun, Patrick? O basta sila yung nagkaroon ng pagrarally sa labas ng Senado to express yung hindi nilang pagkagusto dun sa pirma?
Well, tama po. Yung mga, yung po ng Senado, yung mga employees, ay nagkaroon po silang kilos protesta. Kanina, of course, siyempre, hindi mo naman titi sila. Hindi rin nila kung ano yung mangyayari sa kanila. Pero, again, kami po sa Senado, sa totoo lang po, gaya na banggit ko, hindi naman po namin gusto yung kami po magiging part ng amendment. Tapos, ang mangyayari po, kami po ang magbe-beneficio doon po sa political provisions na listing of term limits and extension of term.
Yeah.
Senator, we're told that the President, PBBM, has been trying to fix things, mend things between the two houses. Do you think it's ever possible for the Senate and the House to restore that trust between the two chambers and move
I know,
forward on
Jove,
this?
yes, Jovi,
Patrick.
sa tingin ko naman kung sinunod lang yung usapan no, ng para po na PBBM, hindi tayo humantong sa ganito eh. Ako naman din po, in my personal opinion, we are also open to charter amendment, lalo na sa economic provision. Kaya lang po, we can do it at a better time because there are so many problems we are facing right now, no? Yung inflation, yung taas na presyo ng bigas, yung ating pagiging huli sa infrastructure, energy, na tingin ko ito yung mga bagay na dapat una napansin. At ang lahat ng ito, maantala or madidelay because of this charter change.
Okay. Senator JV, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Maraming salamat din.
Thank you.
So that was Senator JV Ejercito.
Alam ko may timetable sila na hindi ko lang maalala yung sinabi ni Senator Mix na hanggang kailan. Kasi yun nga yun, ang aim nila, hindi makasagabal dun sa totoong calendar ng Senate na nakaplano for this year.
Okay.
So parang kailangan isingit yung pagtalakay dun sa charter change na economic provisions lang. So alam ko binigyan niya ng time frame lang yun para hindi talaga siya maging sagabal.
We tried asking Congressman Erwin Tulfo if there's a timetable.
Yeah.
Yung diba? Kasi sinasabi nila, the ball is in the court of the Senate. They'll allow the Senate to take the lead. But I guess that means to say that they expect the Senate to act on it,
Yes. Sabi nga ni Congressman Joey Salceda kagabi dun sa isang programa natin hindi sila magdadalawang isip to support kung ano man yung maging resulta doon sa Senate kasi yun ang matagal nang hinihintay.
Yun yung sinabi niya after maghinga siya ng sama ng
After ng sama ng loob.
I mean, in fairness, ang sama ng loob ata na binabanggit ni Congressman Joey Salceda is the way some members of the House and their leader, the House Speaker, has been maligned or treated or demonized.
Nagsabi
by
siya
the
ng names
senators.
Congressman Marcoleta and the Speaker nga na yung the way na parang na-demonize daw, sinasabi niya. At akala ko nga after niya maihingay yung sama ng loob niya kagabi, babawiin niya yung statement niya na parang sementeryo daw ng charter change ang Senate.
Graveyard. Yun yung
Graveyard, sabi niya. Pero sa dulo,
libingan.
sabi niya, hindi, talaga sinabi ko yun. At sasabi niya, at yun pa rin daw ang paniniwala niya. Pero yun nga, open sila just in case na maihabol ng Senado yung move nila for this.
So, Congressman Joey Salceda has another quotable quote.
Yes.
Remember his first one, Joby?
Lucky B.
Yes.
Okay,
Ito
sa
po yung
isang
panahon ni
leader.
Gloria Arroyo. So, magaling rin talaga mag-coin ng mga phrases ito si Congressman Joey Salceda.
Anyway,
Yes. Now, his newest quote is
Cemetery of, or Graveyard of, Charter Change.
Sementeryo ng Charter Change. Yan.
Yeah. Sinabi niya yan sa forum ni Itsu Maceda. Nakasama. Anyway.
Si Marichu Maceda po ay ang
Hindi si Itsu
editor.
Maceda, iba.
Di ba?
Si Marichu. Si Itsu ng Philippine Star po.
Philippine Star, yes.
Okay. So, yun. Anyway,
Marichu Villanueva, sorry.
Villanueva. Itsu, hi. Okay. So, anyway, mga kapatid, you're still watching Storycon on One News. You just need to pause for a very quick break. Babalik po kami.
And when we come back,
Ed Lingao.
si Bong. This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group. The stories that are the headlines and the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Patrick Paez, and with me is Bok Edlingao,
Sorry I'm late.
who had to do a spill shoot for his
Explainers.
explainer.
Mga wala ka pa tayong explainer. Oh, pero ito, Bok. Finally, we got him.
Yes.
Finally, we got him this afternoon.
Maniniwala na sana tayo na para lang siya dun sa kabila. Okay.
Oh, nagdagdagan gano'n. And so today, this afternoon, we speak to, again, Albay Congressman Joey Salceda, one of our favorite resource persons, if not our favorite resource person.
The great Joey Salceda.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So naman, grabe naman kayo.
They were just thrilled, Kong, na you gave us time. Yan.
Yep.
Okay.
Sir,
First question.
Anyway, sir, kasi, well, we heard from your interview yesterday na medyo naglabasan ng sama ng loob ang ilang congressmen. Okay, so that's a given already na maraming nanakit on both sides of the fence. And moving forward, mukhang the agreement is that, sige, pabayaan mo nang gumulong sa Senado yung RHB number 6 at saka susundot yung Kongreso. But ako, sir, I will have to go back to one of my questions earlier na okay, nagkasundo nga sa magkukon-as yung mekanismo, pero hindi pa nagkakasundo dun sa proseso ng bilangan ng boto o proseso ng botohan. Kahit mag-con-as kayo, Kongreso at Senado, as per agreed on sa RHB 6, kung matuloy man yan, I don't think there is any agreement on ano.
Well, the choice of the process as it suggests, 3/4 talaga yan.
Yes, sir. But is it 3/4 voting jointly or voting separately? That will again be the question. So it's separately. So yan po.
Kaya nga,
Yes, sir.
kaya paunahin yung Senate. So, hindi naman nila ibibigay sa amin yung kanilang inaprobahan kung walang 3/4 yun.
You mean when the Senate passes RHB number 6, that is already the 3/4 vote of the Senate. That's already half of the.
They have to produce 3/4.
That's already half of the process.
Siyempre, there will be on the part of the House some kind of situation if they can include the other items in the Constitution, like ownership of schools, of media. Hindi sana natumba ang CNN kung well capitalized, practice of profession, which is very critical to innovation kasi embedded ngayon in persons, in skills, essentially kung ano po yung level of innovation ng isang nation state. And then, of course, although there's still an argument, foreign ownership of land subject to all forms of restrictions
And
that may be imposed.
And all of that will be resolved in a constituent assembly? I mean, in the normal legislative process, it's the bicameral.
We will not. I don't see us meeting together in one setting.
Why is that so, sir?
Well, because it is what you call the fourth modality. They approve first, because so if they don't approve first, then there's nothing to talk about. So once they approve, let's say, hopefully in substantially the reformist content, as I mentioned, ownership schools, ownership of media, ownership of advertising, practice of professions, land. So, pag nag-3/4 sila, papadalin lang sa amin. It's up to the House to concur with 3/4.
What happens to the things that you want to add, let's say, to the changes that you mentioned a few a while ago, like ownership of schools and of media? What if those are not in the Senate's approved bill?
It's up to now to the leadership of the House as well as, of course, the President, whether those minimalist changes
Oh, I'm afraid we're losing Congressman Salceda. Sir, I'm afraid we're getting choppy. Are you still there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Hi, sir. Sorry, we lost your last minute of your audio. Could you repeat that?
Ang sabi ko po, nasa presidente nga, tsaka ng speaker, kung yung tatatlo yun,
Gumugulo.
kung ang walang mangyayari.
Oh, we seem to be losing you at the last part of your
Nasa
remarks.
president,
Yeah.
ang intindi ko, sir, nasa presidente yan.
To resolve it.
Kasi of course, he's the chief of the party.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, as chief of
So,
the party.
in short, of course, we have to consult whether ito ba yung kailangan niya dahil sa pag-ikot niya ng buong mundo, nakikita niya yung mga pagbabago at talagang huling-huli na tayo. Kasi ang issue naman dyan noong 1987, marami tayong sinarhan, samantalang yung ibang bansa nagbukas. Kaya nahuli tayo sa foreign direct investments, nahuli tayo sa maraming bagay na epekto kung wala ka pong foreign capital, foreign technology, access to foreign markets.
Congressman, you're an investment banker, right? If I'm not mistaken, by profession, really. The other day we had an investment banker here, Mr. Stephen Konyeng, and he is of the opinion that the real problem with the Constitution is not so much the restrictions, but actually he was I can't say he was for it, but he mentioned the political system of government that may actually need some tweaking. Curiously enough, he mentioned how the 1973 Constitution may provide a better system where we have a unicameral government, a prime minister, and a president. Is this
My
something
goodness,
that's
no.
also being considered or playing in the minds of, let's say, your mind or the minds of other people who want some changes in the Constitution?
Laro-laro lang sa utak. Pero it's better to deal really first with the structure of the economy.
Okay.
Kasi anything that impinges on the political side is likely to be rejected by the people. Because they're suspicious of our national leaders.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, at the same time, ang kwento kasi ni Mr. Stephen Konyeng is, well, at least he's of the opinion na there's not much anymore by way of economic revisions of the Constitution that could be of significant sir, but I'm just telling you what he told us Ako, I'm not an economist, so I won't presume to For example, an example po na binigay niya, when it comes to foreign ownership of land, you have so many other countries that have more restrictive laws when it comes to foreign ownership of land, yet they're getting all the investors that they want.
Restricted sa atin.
Okay. Can you mind
So,
educating us?
karamihan yung mga kalaban natin, they're liberal.
Kasi
Kailangan kasi piliin mo kung sino kaaway mo
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kasi
ang unang-una, inunahan tayo ng Indonesia, tapos inunahan tayo ng Thailand, inunahan tayo ng Malaysia, inunahan tayo ng Vietnam, inunahan tayo ng Cambodia. Tingnan mo kung alin doon sa liban sinasabi niya na restrictive ang land policy. Wala.
Well, yes, sir. Well, sir, example, sir, that was given was Vietnam and China. Wala
China,
by
iba
way of
naman kasi in-offer nila. Malaking market.
Well, also, sir,
Hindi mo
Vietnam
naman
daw,
kaya
ang
yung market
Vietnam
na
daw.
gano'n na 1.5 trillion. Diyos Mariosan.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we cannot compare ourselves with China,
Well,
but we
that's
can
true, sir.
compare with our peers.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, for example, Vietnam, I understand Vietnam has a very, very, very strict rules when it comes to ownership of land.
Ang restriction lang nila doon, halimbawa sa Malaysia, pagpasok mo doon, meron silang minimum price. Pero you can buy as much as you can.
Pero sir, for example, in Vietnam, foreign ownership of land, I understand, is not allowed except if you are except if you are a foreign entity, you cannot hold more than 30% of the shares of a building, but not of the land itself.
I think they have basically managed that already. Alam mo naman yung mga yun, they can change the constitution only by parliament eh. So pag sinabi ng parliament, 3/4 noon, immediately, the constitution is already changed. Unlike us, we have to go through all this rough and tumble before we can even change a single word.
And then there were also other examples that he gave. For example, si Rupert Murdoch, I understand he was an Australian before. He had to acquire U.S. citizenship for him to be able to own the New York Post because of restrictions
on media ownership.
on media ownership in the U.S. Among other things daw, it has
Pero
to be...
mga exceptions na kasi yan, ano na yan. Ang actually ko, on the ordinary course of business, ang importante, can, for example, Microsoft own a university in the Philippines? The answer is no. Can somebody, an engineer of Microsoft, practice profession in the Philippines? The answer is no. Let's go to the brass tacks or the bricks and mortars of it, of what composes what we all know to be innovation or the core of competitiveness in the current global dynamics.
So, sir, in the end, it will all boil down again to, for example, if the Senate decides to only amend on its own these three provisions that it was looking at, these three economic provisions, and what if the House, in its own vote, which is separate from my understanding, decides on a different number or a different set of amendments to the Constitution? Wala namang bicameral.
Hindi man ito, we're constituting ourselves here as a constituent assembly. We're not in the ordinary course of passing laws.
Yes, sir.
There is no BICAM there.
Yes, sir.
So if they come up with a particular RBH and it has a 3/4 vote, then it's up to the House to accept it with a 3/4 vote. Or if it's not 3/4, then it's dead.
So it's take it or leave it. Kumbaga, there's no such thing as parang wala namang bicameral kasi Constituent Assembly.
Wala. We are not in the business of passing laws. We are in a constituent assembly, therefore we are changing the constitution. So the concept of a BICAM is not. Well, we can stretch the constitution, but I don't think the common understanding is that there is no such thing as a BICAM when you change the constitution. Kasi in the first place, CONAS dapat kami, di ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, so we've never tried it before.
Nasa CONAS kami, therefore 3/4 dapat in one setting.
Okay.
Yeah, sir, but we've never tried it before, nga sir, itong CONAS. So I was wondering if it is at all possible. Granted nga that they vote separately, ang 3/4, but is it possible for them to deliberate jointly so that
Right.
in the end hindi nagdesisyon yung isang grupo, pinasa sa kabila,
Take it or
from
leave
the
it.
very start naman hindi pala papayag yung kabila, edi go back to square one.
Is it possible that there will be some
Posible yan.
deliberations?
Ayaw naman nila sa amin
Ayun. May tampo pa rin
Diba,
kayo, sir.
Isingit namin. Bakit daw isingit namin yung policy?
Ayun. Okay, Kong. So, balik ko, may tampo pa rin. Medyo malalim ba yung lamat, Kong? O lilipas din yan?
Masanay ka na sa Pilipinas.
Oo.
Alam mo naman ng Pilipinas. We live in a political economy where political parties do not stand for anything.
Yes.
And since absent any well-established political parties, so what you end up is really an interplay of personalities. So, wag ka na mangarap.
Okay.
Walang ganun.
Okay. Kong, I wonder if there's a desired or desirable timetable for all of this. I mean, is it is there a desired timetable? Because alam naman natin we're moving into midterms, and while it may matter less in the House of Representatives kasi solid naman yan, midterms might change the complexion of the Senate after May
Mukhang
2024.
malakas ngayon ang lineup ni Digong eh. Baka you might be taking it ano. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to be with. I'm on the side of the speaker, okay.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the personalities that are basically associated with the former president, especially Fifa, they might be able to ano.
So you think mas mahihirapan after the midterms?
Oh, definitely.
So
It's gonna be a more difficult terrain.
so the desired timetable is before the midterms. Ganun po ba?
Hindi naman. It's not incumbent in our minds.
Uh-huh.
Ang iniisip namin is that any talk after the next election is futile.
Okay.
Walang mangyayari kung mag-uusap kami after the midterm elections. Lalo na wala nangyari kasi sasama na dyan yung duda na extension.
Okay. But is it possible before the elections then? I mean, physically, in terms of time?
Ay, oo, pinipilit nga na dapat July.
Ayun, kaya July. Okay. Okay, that's good. Kinakabahan ba kayo? Ano, Kong? Dahil mukhang si Erwin papunta ng Senado yan after midterms. Diba? Malakas eh.
Sigurado na yan si Erwin. Pero ang importante naman di ba, parang right, it's not that the House is trying to make a statement. This will be the first time that we will be able to change the Constitution after 37 years, no matter how dysfunctional many of its elements are.
Okay, so we're ano?
Pahabol ako, sir.
Does it sound realistic? One last question, Congressman Salceda. July.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, ako pahabol lang ako, pero kakambi lang ako. Kasi nabanggit nga nung isang gabi.
Okay, ito.
Sir.
Simpleng ko. Pasok nila, isaksak nila yung tatlo. For the sake na at least masabi natin na palitan yung Constitution.
Okay na.
Di at tanggapin ng House yung 3/4. Di at least meron.
Oh, may nangyari.
May nangyari na pwede palang palitan. I mean, it has some kind of lightning on the body politic or the general mass psychology. Kaya naman palang palitan.
Parang at least establish a beachhead of some sort. Kung ano po,
pero
yes, sir.
na rin lang, ba't di yung paubusin?
Pero dahil singit lang natin kasi yung producer natin nilagay dun sa gist natin. People's Initiative, Dead or Alive. So, it's dead, at least until for the rest of the year. Until the midterms.
As far as I'm concerned, kasi yung tono naman yesterday is that tinawagan ni SPC Speaker na nirefer na sa subcom ni Angara yung RBH 6 nila. Kasi ang dami na eh. Ang dami RBH eh. Yung RBH na may tatlong changes. So, nirefer na nila. Hopefully, it progresses there.
Okay.
Okay. Kung pahabol lang ako pero kakambi lang ako kasi nung isang gabi si dating Pangulong Duterte nagsalta nga may binanggit siya na gusto na niyang itulak through Congressman Alvarez yung Mindanao Republic. Now I'd like to get your input here as somebody whose expertise really is the economy. Kasi ang tingin ng iba na nagsusulong nito kayang-kaya naman dahil ang maraming resources ng Mindanao although hindi masyadong nagre-reflect in terms of the number. Sige, sir.
Assuming lang na no patriotism or anything else. Pure economics.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mindanao is a net beneficiary of IRA.
Net
beneficiary.
So, net beneficiary, big beneficiary of IRA. In other words, the basic social services
Okay.
that are directed to poor families.
Okay.
So, I'm just talking about the state, the operation of the state, the departments, the number of people they have to kailangan na paswerdosin. the armies that they have to sustain for their own defense. So, kulang, ang layo.
Okay, that is purely on economic terms, not even the sentimental, the political. No? Okay, so
Well,
it's clear.
definitely it's not viable.
Okay.
Pero kung may mga countries na maganda na dumaan sa ganyan, ay dahil naman siguro dahil sa may principle ng subsidiarity, at saka nagkakaroon tayo ng more cohesive decision-making or culture, and therefore it becomes a breeding ground for, let's say, for new businesses, new enterprises, for innovations. I'm talking about, let's say, Israel, Netherlands. Maliliit sila, pero they were able to, because of their culture. So the cohesion, on the sheer cohesion of their culture, it may breed the necessary elements for inclusion.
Okay, Albay, Congressman Joey Salceda, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you, sir. Good to have you back.
Thank you very much po.
So on purely economic terms, I think he answered your question.
Yeah.
Oo, mas maraming binibigay ang national government kaysa nakukuha in terms of taxes.
Kumbaga kung sa household naka-deficit spending ka, mas malaki yung ginagastos mo kaysa sa nilalabas mong
Or mas wag na natin gamitin yung mas masakit na salita, ayuda.
Oh yeah. Actually,
Medyo parang gano'n. Well, that was, I think Congressman Salceda, who's an economist, very fine economist, tried to put it as this embodied as possible. Parang talagang the numbers alone, sinasabi niya.
It's also good to hear it kasi siyempre, people feel strongly about these things.
Yes.
It's also a matter of pride.
Right. And I think that's what drove the former President Duterte into saying na mag-PI na lang siya for independent Mindanao. Sabi, tinagdag pa nga niya, Bok, na di bali na okay lang papasukin yung ICC kasi doon siya magtatago sa sa Mindanao Republic. Anyway, well, he hasn't lost his sense of humor.
Yeah. Obviously, dami yung binitawan ng gabi ganun.
Okay, at this point,
Parang
Bok.
bumalik ang talk to the people. Okay, let's bring in Ana Mari Pamintua ng Editor-in-Chief natin sa Philippine Star. Magmula sa Parañaque.
Sa kanilang bago-bagong opisina.
Ano, Ami? Narinig mo yung interview kay Joey?
Ako, siyempre, lalagay na naman ako sa fifth.
Pasok si
Si Joey.
Okay.
Ami, can you hear us?
Yun, si Jovi. Yung audio ni Jovi Francisco pumapasok sa ating override. Anyway, that was Ami Pamintuan.
We're bringing her back in a few minutes. We're just fixing some things with the audio. Pero interesting conversation with Joey Salceda.
Yeah, always interesting.
Yeah.
Remember, Bok, he was the first one sa Wagpo, dun sa dati natin, sa nasira natin programa sa kabila.
Talagang nasira ang programa
But first time, they were talking about charter change, and then he revealed to us that the plan was to just change the restriction on foreign investment in utilities through legislation.
Yeah,
They're going to
I
skip
remember that.
charter change and just do it through legislation. That's what happened. Now he's telling us, he just told us another, parang another process altogether, still within the law on how they plan to go about this charter change.
Paano nga ba yun?
July ang target nila.
Yeah, but he's looking at what was that again? Let the Senate run its course and then pass the ball on to the House after it.
And then aprobahan nila, parang ganun.
But that's assuming that they really agree.
On what? No, it was very clear that they're going to respect the 3/4 vote of each chamber.
Yeah. What I mean is, winner take all kasi, or take it or leave it. So if the Senate pushes through with only 3 provisions that it wants to tinker with, and then it passes it on to the House, and what did the congressman say? We're not happy with this. Why will he?
Yes, but I gather from Congressman Joey Salceda that they'll take it.
Ayun nga.
They'll take it.
As of
Because they need the time. No, Bok, they need the time. Ami, nababanggit ni Congressman Joey Salceda kanina is like they're pressed for time. Ayaw na nilang paabutin ng midterms kasi pag dumating ang midterm, sabi nga ni Congressman Joey Salceda, malalakas yung mga senatorial candidate ni Duterte. baka lalo sila mas mahirapan sa susunod na Senado. I think that's a practical side of it, yung binanggit niya kanina.
Eh, tanong nga dyan kung meron pang support, that kind of support from the Senate sa nakikita natin ngayon. Although ang pangako ni Senator Sani Angara, yun na nga, itutuloy naman daw nila next week, di ba?
Right.
So, tingnan natin kung ano mangyari. Kung ganyan may timetable na malapit-lapit na yung July, that's although kung 3 provisions lang naman yan, siguro.
Kaya yan.
Baka nga makakaya.
Kaya yan,
Ang
di ba?
tanong lang, yung tinatanong ng mga Senado, mapipigilan kaya kung sakaling gusto ng mga congressmen, ay dagdagan natin yung 3 in-approve. They're supposed to approve whatever, yun ang pangako nila, di ba, sa mga senators. O sige, kung ano man yung ipasa nyo.
Tatanggapin.
Kasi wala namang intervening body like a BICAM.
Kaya lang, baka madagdagan niya, magkaroon ng insertion kahit sa budget, may mga ganon.
Right.
Nabantayan din yun ng mga tao.
Abangan na lang natin.
Kasi
But he did also mention that they're also hoping for some, hindi niya ginamit yung salitang intercession or intervention, pero na baka the President can weigh in. Of course, alam natin na wala sa proseso ng Constituent Assembly ang walang papel ang Pangulo doon. Pero as party president, yun nabanggit niya, or party leader or party elder, eh baka may, the President can weigh in his influence on the CONAS.
Sabi niya, he will be consulting legal experts kung anong pwedeng mode na will be acceptable to both the senators and the congressmen. So wala pa namang balita ngayon kung may kinalabasan na yon. We're thinking kanina, inumpisahan niya tong show, talking about his chief legal presidential counsel. Baka kinukonsulta niya yon.
Right. Oh.
Kung anong posible, kung anong alternative, kung sakasakaling mag-collapse pa rin yan. Yang ginagawa ngayon, ang Senate kasi, talagang medyo mataas yung level of distrust at this point.
Na inamin niya, Congressman Salceda. Di ba? He admitted it.
Kaya hindi natin alam kung makukuha rin ang sabi the President keeps saying, gusto ko pa rin yung economic provisions. Although pinag-usapan niyo rin nga kanina, tinatanong niyo, ang main contention dyan, yung restrictions on ownership. Bakit ang Vietnam merong mga restrictions on foreign ownership? Katakot-takot ang na-attract na FDI. Ganyan pa rin, hindi pa rin namamatay ang ganyang argumento in the Senate.
Well, we asked him of that pero hindi ako masyadong nalinaw doon sa sagot parang yung saying na parang they have their ways around it.
No,
it's a Communist Party of Vietnam.
50 years ang inaalaw ng Vietnam for its communist country, you cannot own land.
Yeah.
But they have a lease arrangement
You
na
don't
pwede
really own
yung
it.
50 years for commercial and certain business
There you go.
industries, gano'n. And possible for renewal.
Sa China naman, it's
yung
75
mga
years.
apartments within a building, a foreigner can own, pero up to 30% lang ng mga units
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
in the entire building. Ang China, hindi ko masyadong kabisado, pero they have a similar.
Yeah,
It's
China's
also
around
communist country,
70-75%.
Ganun din, you
70
cannot own land
years.
if you're a
lease.
foreigner.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. Ami, may iba tayo. Ano ang nagbabanggaang banner story sa Philippine Star na makikita natin bukas? Right now.
Sumagot naman si Vice President Sara Duterte. Siyempre, dinideny na yung accusation ng former Davao policeman, si
Las Cañas.
Arturo Las Cañas, na siya mismo ang nag-invento ng Oplan Tokhang at mas brutal pa daw siya sa tatay niya.
Nako.
Ayaw daw niyang ipakita na binabaril ang mga tao. Kidnapin na lang daw at ilibing. Dinideny niya yon. And apart from that, tinatanong niya, bakit daw ngayon yata lang yan lumalabas yung mga akusasyon na yan.
Yun. And
Bakit pinatutunguhan din yan? It's related to the ongoing feud.
okay. Etong People's Initiative at Chacha, Ami, above the fold pa ba? Or wala na, bumababa na?
Well, ang balita ngayon ay inumpisahan na nga nung firma or people behind firma na i-withdraw na nga yung mga signature sheets nila sa COMELEC.
Yun.
They're physically withdrawing the sheets?
Di ba yun ang utos ng COMELEC kahapon? Nakatambak kasi doon. Baka daw kung ano mangyari doon sa mga papel. Inakukuha.
Bagay,
So,
fire
inumpisahan
hazard, no?
ng kunin.
Susunod yung
And yun ang kondisyon naman, di ba, for the Senate to push through with RBH 6. Ituloy niyo yung Chacha, itigil yung People's Initiative. So, tingnan natin Kasi pwede namang i-withdraw yung signature sheet at ituloy pa rin yung signature gathering. Tingnan natin.
Okay. Ami, any non-political stories sa front page ng nalalabas sa front page ng Philippine Star?
May mga 100,000 na daw na mga ng 4-piece ang na-delist dahil sa mga iba-ibang klaseng anomalya. At saka yung daw natin, yung ating population, kung gusto niya, ito medyo malayo na talaga to. Population will hit, I think 130 million by 2050. Yan, kung gusto niya yung mga ganyan.
2050.
Pero talaga, puro politika eh. We're waiting pa for the outcome of the meeting at Malacanang of the ICC Special Rapporteur, si Irene Tan. So, pinihintay din namin yan ngayon.
Okay.
Kung anong mangyari.
Happening right now. ICC ba to? UN Rapporteur?
UN, I'm sorry.
napunta
UN
doon eh.
Rapporteur. UN Rapporteur.
Nasa Malacanang,
Nasa Malacanang.
Alam mo, Ami,
Talaga yung trigera.
Adudulak sana.
alam mo,
Wala pa. Yun ang tinanong
Matutrouble
ng
tayo yun
ICC. Tinanong ng mga reporter ang ICC. Nung kumalat na nagpunta sila,
Oho.
last week or a few days ago, tinanong sila, nagpadala nga ba kayo ng mga tao dito to talk to people? And they actually sidestepped the question.
hindi
Sabi lang
sinagot.
nila, ang sinabi lang nila, we are working to give justice to the victims of EJK. Yun lang ang sinabi nila.
Ang dali naman i-deny, di ba, Ami, kung talagang hindi?
That's yun na yung inaano. Ang problema kasi dyan, medyo malabo. I don't know how to frame the question to the ICC.
Oo, na
Pwede
hindi
mo
sila
sabihin,
makakalusot.
Nagtatanong ba kayo dito? Kasi they can ask questions actually via Zoom. They can call.
Right.
So, pwede bang sabihin ng gobyerno na, hindi naman sinabi na rin ni Minardo Guevara yun recently sa inyo rin, di ba? Na, hindi naman namin mapipigilan kung if they're coming here, so may mga civilian dito, hindi naman sinabi diretso kapag nag-imbestiga, kasi it's not a formal investigation.
Right.
Pero what's stopping the ICC from asking questions sa mga Pilipino? So, yan yung medyo malabo. So, hindi nila sinagot diretso yung question na yun.
Okay.
Nagpunta ba kayo dito at nagtanong?
Okay. Ami, itong presence, yung pagbisita nitong UN, United Nations Rapporteur, parang rapporteur is a word for investigator, which is freelance. Yung visit niya, why is this significant? Anong pakay? For what purpose?
Yung sa freedom of expression yan, hindi naman sa, tinitingnan lang nila kung ano tayo, yung press freedom, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression. It's significant na nagpunta rito. I don't think merong actual direct connection naman yon. Naging coincidental lang na nakasuspit na yung SMNI at hindi makapag-broadcast si former President Duterte sa SMNI habang bumubisita naman yan. I don't think may connection yon. Kaya lang, yun nga lang, baka masama din yan sa report nila na may ganito. Of course, the human rights advocates will say na talaga namang nire-red tag kami niyang ganyan. Meron din ganong argumento na dapat lang naman talaga na may disiplinahin kapag gano'n na medyo inaabuso yung franchise. So there's a discussion ongoing. Yung action, they're using the NTC, the MTRCB against SMNI. Siyempre, meron ding mga grupo na they are actually supporting yung gano'n. Pero on the other hand, meron ding mga human rights advocates na nag-warning na etong mga ginagawa ng NTC and MTRCB might actually be used against other networks. Although, my understanding kayo, you can tell me. Alam ko yung franchise ng broadcast talagang merong mga detailed kayong mga requirements that you have to follow. Unlike sa print, wala kaming ganon.
Right.
So kung may violation ng franchise, pwede siyang erase. Yan ang mga medyo hindi ko masyadong naintindihan. Maybe you can tell me about it. Yung mga requirements sa broadcast.
Kasi alam mo naman, di ba, a franchise to broadcast is a privilege from Congress. Right? Pinagkakaloob yan. Hindi naman yan the right to use the airwaves. It's a privilege. So, may mga
Yung nangyari nung sa
understandable.
ABS-CBN, nagkaroon ng diskusyon nga na baka dapat tanggalin na nga din sa Congress yung power to grant franchise. So that's an ongoing thing now with at least medyo nabuhay ang usapan na yan with what's happening with SMNI. Ironically involving the former President Duterte and the folks who are accused of red tagging media personalities, among others.
Okay.
Okay. Si Ami, ang saya-saya pa naman ang kulay niya ngayon, no?
Oo. Pang Chinese New Year, Ami.
Yung Lunar New Year.
Bilog-bilog.
makapunta na tayo.
Yan. Oo. Kailan ba yung Chinese New Year? Palapit
hindi ko
na.
alam. Basta alam ko this
February
year.
10.
February 10.
February 10, yung bisperas niya, Friday.
We can't wait for January and 2023 to be over, Ami. Okay, thanks for joining the Story Conference, Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star,
Thank you, Ami.
reporting live from their spanking new office in Parañaque. Yan.
Thank you, Patrick
Thank
and
you.
Ed.
Wala pang daga dyan, no?
Magandang hapon sa inyo.
Na-miss nila. Na-miss na siguro nila.
Yung mga daga sa pier.
Sa port area. Oo, okay.
Okay, let's bring in...
May time pa?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Si Joey Francisco.
Joey Francisco,
Standby.
pasok ka lang.
Joey, are you there, Joey?
Okay. Mula naman sa story conference ng One News and One PH, si Joey Francisco po, moderated, or should we say, led the story conference a while ago. Let's find out what they have for us. Wala pa.
Wala pa.
Bok, curious point lang, dito sa Tokhang. Okay? Originally, the word Tokhang comes from the word Tokhangyo.
Tokhangyo.
It was really a legitimate campaign.
Knock and ask.
Oh, knock and ask, di ba? So, and it was a legitimate campaign na PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa introduced when he was first appointed PNP
There are
Chief.
it's Oplan double barrel. There are two aspects to it. One is Tokhangyo, which basically means kakatukin mo yung mga bahay.
Right, and request them to magparehab sila. And
The other one is yung law enforcement aspect.
law enforcement. Pero
Double barrel.
for some reason, yung Tokhang became equated, it evolved and became equated to extrajudicial killings.
Kasi it was it was the name of the entire program. Wala, I don't think may pangalan talaga yung
Extrajudicial killing. No, but kasi when they say na, let's say, Bato is linked to it, I mean, he was linked to the Tokhang campaign. Anyway,
Joby,
Last 2
here.
minutes.
yes, Jovi.
Last 2 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Dagdag ko lang yung tanong niyo doon. Actually, galing yung reaction na yun from Vice President Sara Duterte sa kanyang statement nilabas sa kanyang Facebook page. At sinasabi doon yung, of course, it's a denial of all the allegations made by Arturo Las Cañas. At ang notable doon yung sinabi niya na bago ata itong script na ito, pero alam niya na it's part of a bigger script daw, na continuing script na pinipilit na idagdag sila mga kaanak doon sa mga naunang alegasyon. So that's part of a very long statement from the Vice President. So yun. At saka dadagdagan ko rin, tama si Ma'am Ami, take up din to sa dalawang programang susunod sa atin, na ang COMELEC ay nagsasabi na protect the pirma na nag-gather nyo, kunin nyo na muna para hindi masira. So yun yung
Baka
kanyang
masunog pa yung mga
directive.
opisina ng COMELEC. Nakakailang fire na
Nasunog
sa,
na yung COMELEC dati.
sa COMELEC offices.
Dami
kasi.
records na-
Dahil sa mga papel na ganyan.
We know
Dobby,
that.
oo.
Yeah.
Delikado. Tama nga naman.
Yeah,
Iuwi mo na ng pirma. Yan.
Okay. So, dagdag lang ako ng, I'm sure natanong na ako ni Patrick, ano ba yung mga news na wala sa politika o kaya sa national, batiin lang natin yung tatlong cities natin. Baguio City, Ilagan City, tsaka Tutok City. Yata, tama ba ako?
Tutok City?
Ito ay ASEAN Tourism Standard Awards sa Lao na binigay. Sila yung parang green and clean cities sa norte.
Bontok. Tutok in Bontok.
Bontok?
Yun.
Tutok City.
So, yan siya. Yung tatlong yun.
Malay
May
na.
kakaiba pa akong story. Isa na lang before ako magpaalam sa inyong dalawa.
Sige lang, Joey.
Merong ginawang warning ang mga authorities sa South Korea na papigilan yung ginagawang TikTok craze doon na yung toothpick ay piniprito at kakainin.
May ganun, ha?
Hindi, pero there's
May
really a
ganon.
Korean, kasi finisher nila sa Tonight, there's really a
Edible.
Korean, mukha siyang toothpick, pero hindi siya talaga toothpick. It's made of, sweet potato ata.
And it's
Starch.
edible.
It's starchy.
You fry
Yeah,
it, it's
yeah.
colored green. So may ganun talaga ata. Baka naman meron talagang, ayun ata, yun ba yun? Ba't gumagalaw?
Yun.
Parang
But
bulate.
still, nagkaroon na ng warning ang Department of Health or Health Department nila dun sa South Korea to say na huwag nang gawin yan.
Mukha siyang toothpick
kahit na-
bago siya lutuin.
Yeah.
In
Teka, para
fairness.
klaro. So, meron talagang nakakain na toothpick kuno, pero merong kumakain ng talagang toothpick para tripping lang, ganun ba? Yun ba yun?
Hindi, ito sinasabi nila, yung green na yan, yung starchy toothpick na yan, yung maski yan, pinagbabawal din.
Because
Na huwag
it's-
nang gawin, din-discourage.
You know, I imagine, Bok, delikado siya pag di mo siya niluto. Matalas eh. Di ba? Anyway,
Yeah.
Anong tawag sa'yo kung sinubuhan tapos hindi mo ganun?
maraming ganyan.
Sige, tumutugtog na dito. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Sige. Okay. Maraming salamat, Joey Francisco. Hey, Joey, thank you kanina. Okay. Those are the stories that are the headlines. The stories behind the headlines. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Patrick Paez. Join the Story Conference again tomorrow, 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. This is One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.